Okay, let's get back to 15 here. Alan drives an average of 100 miles each week. His car can travel an average of 25 miles per gallon of gasoline. Alan would like to reduce his weekly expenditure on gasoline by $5. Assuming gasoline costs $4 per gallon, which equation can Alan use to determine how many fewer average miles M he should drive each week? So right now he's getting 25 miles per gallon of gasoline. Now, this is another one where they word it oddly. So he wants to drive. So if we took 25 miles per gallon, we could figure out. Oh, okay. They're doing so 25 miles. 25 miles. Let's do it for miles per dollar. And he drives 25 miles. How much does he spend? He spends $4, right? M miles. He wants to save, right? He wants to save $5. Is there a way we could make one of those equations match one of the answers? Okay. Multiply by M on the other side. Which one of the answer choices has a same exact cross product? I hope that you can get rid of these in your mind. Did you know that you could flip both sides of a proportion as long as you do it to both sides? As long as you can write an M. Gee whiz, that's terrible. This one looks an awful lot like which choice? D. You're comparing miles to dollars. They throw the gallons in there just to confuse you. All right, some important things that you need to notice. Now that we're in the non-multiple choice section, and I'm going to go through these because there are some important things in here. Although not required, it is suggested that you write your answers at the top in the boxes. You're only going to get scored on the filled-in circles. Mark no more than one circle in any column. Okay, you guys know that. I mean, how many of these things have you filled out before? Did you know that none of the answers are negative? Okay, I think that's important. Because if you come up with a negative answer, go back and fix it. Okay? Some problems may have more than one correct answer. I know, you guys hate that. Pick one of them. Don't write more than one answer down, okay? I mean, if the answer is 4, 5, or 6, just pick 4 or 5 or 6. Don't try to put them all in there because you're going to lose. It's going to think you wanted 456. Mixed numbers. such as 3.5. Either you write 3.5 or you write the improper fraction 7/2. But if you write 3(1/2) in the answer blank, it thinks that is 31/2, which is 15.5, which is not what you wanted. So don't write 3.5 like as if you can fit it in all the boxes. Either write it as an improper fraction or write it as a decimal. Decimal answers. If you obtain a decimal answer with more digits than the grid can accommodate, it may be either rounded or truncated. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know what rounding is, but I'm not so sure you know what truncating is. Let me give you an example. Suppose the answer to the question was 2/3. One acceptable answer is to write it in its fraction form. You can do that. You're never going to go wrong. If you decide to write its decimal form, you must write one of these two forms. Now, obviously, this is the rounded version. But this one right here is what they call truncated. Truncated just means they chop off the rest of the decimal and throw it away. It does not follow the conventional rounding rules. You know what they're not going to accept on this particular one? They're not going to accept 0.6 as an answer. They're also not going to take 0.66 as an answer. You want to know why? Because if you decide to write it as a decimal, you must fill the entire grid. Now, it's okay if you write it as a fraction, you're not going to have to fill the whole grid, 2/3. But if you decide to go with the decimal version, you must fill in every box. Now, that's not true if it's 2.5. You don't have to put 2.50. I don't think they can take anything off if you do. But it's not necessary. The last thing that they want you to know is that it does not matter whether you start on the left or if you start on the right. You can put your answers in either position. You're not going to lose credit. Start from the left or start from the right. Now, if it's a single-digit answer and you decided to, let's see here, if you decided to do something like this, and you just want to put a 2 in there randomly, I think you'll lose. Either start on the left or start on the right, okay? But don't just randomly put it in wherever you feel like it. It says you may start your answers in any column. I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. If it was a single-digit answer, I'm either going to put it on the far left or the far right. I don't want to risk it. Maria plans to rent a boat. The boat rental costs $60 per hour, and she will have to pay for a water safety course that costs $10. Maria wants to spend no more than $280 for the rental and the course. If the boat rental is available only for a whole number of hours, what is the maximum number of hours for which Maria can rent the boat? How do you know? So 60 times the number of hours plus $10, no more than. That's less than or equal to 280. Now let's see if you're right. And of course, we're going to subtract the 10. 60x is less than 270. And we divide by 60 on both sides. Divide by 60. X is less than or equal to 4 point something, right? 4.5. Oh, yeah, that's right. 4.5. So you're right. The answer to this question is 4. Maximum number of hours. Let's make sure they didn't specify. It says whole number of hours. Yeah, right there. So they have to give me something like that. Otherwise, I would be agreeing with you. 17. I'm just seeing if there's something faster we could do here. I don't think so. 2p plus 2, 8p minus 8, 10p minus 6 equals 5p. So, whoa, lock it in place. Subtract that to the other side. Negative 6 equals negative 5p. So what does 1p equal? 6 over 5 or 1.2, whichever you prefer. Fraction or decimal, it doesn't matter. I was trying to see if there was some way we could avoid distributing, but I can't see it. Couldn't see it right away. Do you see my substitution that I'm going to do right there? Maybe that's not the best way to do it. Maybe I should substitute the other way. Should I substitute the other way? If I substitute my way, I'm going to solve for y. Is that what they asked me for? No. So maybe I would be better served to go back and substitute in for y. So 1/2 2x plus 2x equals 21 over 2. Hey, what happens if I multiply both sides by 2? Things get a lot easier. 4x equals 21. X equals 21 over 4. I believe you can leave it like that. If you're a decimal fan, you could also change it to, that's 5 1/4 is the decimal version of that if you're a decimal fan. Any questions on that? Just straightforward substitution. I mean, it's not going to hurt if you substitute the other way, because you'll just find out what y is, and then you'll plug it back in to find out what x is. You know, but if we could save ourselves a step, why not? Number 19, the expression above is equivalent to a over x plus 2 quantity squared, where a is a positive constant and x does not equal negative 2. What is the value of a? Okay. Just trying to think of this a different way, but I think we need to get common denominators. What is this denominator missing that the other one has? Please don't say square. Another x plus 2, thank you very much. Now, I know that that results in a square when you multiply two things times each other, but the reality is you're missing an x plus 2. And What number will we be distributing to the parentheses? What number will we be distributing to the parentheses? Oh, -2. All right. So we have 2x plus 6 minus 2x minus 4. Well, those things are going to cancel out. You knew that was going to happen. What do we have left? 2. Guess what? That must be A. And it is. Any questions on 19? Okay, question 20. Intersecting lines R, S, and T are shown below. What is the value of X? How'd you get that? You are correct. I'm guessing he means the supplementary angle right there. Yep. All right, what's the third angle of the triangle? So he went from here to here. Then he used these three right here to find this one. Then he used that one to find this one. Okay. Now, excellent job. 97 is your correct answer. But remember, those of you who do not remember geometry, here's a theorem you could use. Now, your first step was an excellent step. But this right here is called an exterior angle to the polygon. And there was this really cool theorem that said that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. Now, you may or may not remember that when it comes test time, but all I had to do was add these two numbers together, 74 and 23, and get 97. So, your method proves that theorem. Nothing wrong with what you did. Maybe an extra step. If we're trying to save some time, those are the kinds of things we wish we would remember so that we could just speed things up. But your way works just as good. Any questions on those no calc questions? Okay. Get your calculator. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think I've got the rest of this particular test already recorded. So I want to see if we can